Damn it. I was hoping this thing was going to be over already, but nope, got to go to a 6th game at this point. And yes, while the Denver Nuggets wait for the winner of the Eastern Conference between the Miami Heat, who will be at home for a game 6, taking on the Boston Celtics. The good news is it gives us a little something else to bet on here between now and the NBA Finals next month, which is really what it feels like. Very strange scheduling here. But the good news is we got 3 of the best are going to try to make heads or tails of all of this and see if we can find a couple of spots to bet it. As Andy Lang, the prop god, in the house here tonight, as is Mr. Mejia TM in the house, as is RR1L Steve Merrill, ready to roll here, gentlemen. Happy Friday. We got a little more basketball to bet on before we get to the finals. And Andy, I know you got to have something cooking here into what is going to be an extremely busy weekend on tap here. What do you got for us?
Oh, well, we got a Road to UFC event that is at the ripe hour of, I believe, 4 a.m. because it's over in Asia. Yep. But we do have a play for that. We've got Formula One. We've got NASCAR. I don't know if we'll have an official play for NBA, but we do have 3 MLB plays that are up right now. So looking forward to grab some units this weekend. You can use a promo code ANDY3, ANDY3 for a 3-day pass for $39. We're running this every Friday. Last weekend, 4.7 units, so very successful. Looking to repeat that this weekend and hopefully get this weekend finally started. I see the Heat and Celtics don't want us to start our weekend. Let's make sure the guys have to do another show on Friday late afternoon. Ugh.
Yes. I know. A little disgusted. I know. But full disclosure here, Mejia, I am holding on to a Heat and 6 and 7 tickets. So quite honestly, I wasn't that upset that the Heat lost last night. So here we find ourselves one more game tomorrow at the very least, possibly a 7 on Monday. But how about you heading into this weekend here? Do you have anything tonight, tomorrow? What's going on?
Yeah, even you couldn't have been that delusional to be Heat and 5. But I mean, like, what are we thinking on that? Because the bottom line is this, like, and obviously we did the show with Megan and Teddy yesterday, and Teddy is very much of the opinion that Boston is a live dog at plus 220. This was before yesterday's win, which I think we all knew was going to happen. They got up to a 20-5 lead, and it was over from there. And look, the bottom line is this: Gabe Vincent's coming back tomorrow. There's very little chance that he doesn't play, and we'll talk about this furthermore in this show. But game on, and we'll see what Eric Spoelstra has cooking for Joe Mazzulla and the boys. So it'll be interesting to see. 5% tomorrow. I guarantee it. We're going to have it. 26-11, last 37. Lost my last one. Don't intend to lose this one.
I love that, man. You see that number there, guys? 24-9-2 NBA playoff run. We've got still a lot of basketball possibly left because either of these two teams advancing, you got to worry about, Merrill. Denver, it feels like hasn't played a game in 3 months because by the time they get to the court, any of that rhythm they might have had, you got to scratch your head and go, what the hell was the NBA thinking here? But we still got to get through the Eastern Conference. Have you made a decision one way or another on what you're looking at for Game 6 or MLB? What do you got going for us?
Well, first of all, Joe, I'm proud of you for the emotional hedge betting the Heat in 6 or 7. Very good. I gave you games 4 and 5 to hope for a loss, so that's good. You're learning. But yeah, the NBA, don't question the NBA. They know what they're doing. You got the script. Look, this game 1's on Thursday, June 1st. So, they got Game 6 here, and Game 7 would be Monday, and then there's 2 days off. So they knew what was going on. So, look, this is really crazy. And by the way, Teddy Covers and I broke this down in detail on WagerTalk today earlier. Watch the replay on WagerTalk TV. Teddy did some great math on that 0-150 record on teams down 0-3 and how misleading that is, because basically teams seeded as high as the Celtics, it's only happened 3 times, and one of them was in the 1950s. So basically, it's 0-2 in the modern era. So this is definitely something that could happen. The betting odds say 57% chance Boston wins tonight as a 2.5, 3-point favorite. So most likely there will be a show Monday on Memorial Day here on Wager Talk TV for the NBA. In the meanwhile, I do have a strong baseball best bet tonight, an MLB Steamroller blowout for Friday, and a free play. Don't forget about the free play. Steve Merrill, WagerTalk.com.
So what you're saying is I probably should have hedged out by taking Boston to win the series yesterday, like Teddy suggested, at almost 3-1. Again, you can kiss my. Here we go. One more time, guys. Let's go through it on this Friday as the Boston Celtics heading back down to Miami. I think the big question is, will Miami not turn the damn ball over 16 times to lead to 27 free friggin' points? That is the question here. 2.5, though. Boy, oh boy, 210.5. I do think, Andy, that the bookmakers are sick and tired of the 215, 216 mark. That doesn't sniff anywhere near it. So they decided, nope, 210.5 is the number now. So approaching it in a game 6, these teams know each other well. The hell do you do in the prop betting market in this thing?
It's been a brutal prop betting series. There's just not many things that have been hitting consistently. Jimmy Butler did go over to steals once again, but they've got it juiced at minus 185. So some of these are just really tough. Malcolm Brogdon unders. You're not going to be able to play those anymore. I doubt the books are going to put them up anymore since the cat's out of the bag about him having an injury. So one that did jump out, Bam Adebayo over 2.5 turnovers. He's had 3, 4, and 6 in his last 3 games. Sometimes him and Kyle Lowry, you have to wonder if they forgot which team they're playing for. Sometimes down the court, they tend to like giving the ball to Boston rather than some of their teammates. But this is just a tough prop. It's a tough prop betting series. I'm going to be very excited to get Denver back involved because those props have been way easier to predict and way easier to hit. So as far as the total, I would go back to Miami Heat over their team total. I thought they kind of mailed it in the last game. This is it's going to be all or nothing for them. You're not going to see 34 minutes out of Jimmy Butler. I think, as mentioned, Gabe Vincent is probably going to play. I believe they've got their total like 106.5. I would expect Miami to play much better on offense. I mean, would they only hit 9 3-pointers in the last game? Yeah. I don't see that happening again. Yeah. So I guess a bet I would look at is maybe Miami, but I'm guessing at this point on the team totals, as are most of us. So can't really say that with a lot of confidence.
Yeah, it does certainly feel, Mejia, this has become a live by the 3, die by the 3 series, including the Boston Celtics, who were quite content on just chucking up as many threes as humanly possible yesterday and hoping they made more than Miami, which they did. But if that's the case, I mean, I can't think of anything more variance related than who's going to hit more threes in this game. But that's ultimately what this series has come down to.
Well, that's what the NBA has come down to, right? Like, this is the league now. But look, Joe, you got 5 points, maybe 6, 7 minutes in, and the Celtics gotcha. It was over. And in terms of that, credit to Boston. Credit to Boston on that because, look, they jumped on the Heat in Game 5 the way they needed to. They were able to rally in Game 4 the way they needed to. It was a sense where I thought Jimmy Butler absolutely needed to put that game away in Game 4. You're up by a handful of points, 6 at halftime, at the break. You were dominating that first half. You were up by as many as double digits. You could have gone up by 9, and then you didn't. And then Boston responded. But there's no question who the better coach team here is. Before Gabe Vincent went down, who the deeper team is. So we'll see how Vincent responds because I do imagine that he'll be a part of Game 6. It's basically win or go home for Miami in Game 6. You don't want to go to Boston again and you'll be a heavy underdog, as you should be if you lose. So spread's going to be what it is. Boston is going to be favored. Miami can do it again, and Miami is the better coached and deeper team, so long as Game Vincent plays.
Yeah, it's and I mean, all indications are Vincent will be a go here. It was interesting the way it kind of hit that under the radar a little bit till a couple of hours before tip-off last night, Maryland. All of a sudden, oh yeah, Gabe Vincent's out. Just thought everyone might want to know that, which is, hey, great, thanks, appreciate that. But quite honestly, it wasn't Gabe Vincent and him not being in a lineup last night that was the issue. It's the Heat's defense fell apart last night. And, oh, yeah, 16 turnovers to 27 points. That's the kind of things that can be cleaned up, Merrill, right? The variance for three-point is what it is. But you can certainly cut back on the blown assignments. And, oh, yeah, 16 turnovers leading to 27 points. A well-coached team should be able to clean that up, no?
Yeah, no, that's been the key, and it's 3 points and turnovers. Because look, if you could pick one statistic to know ahead of time, other than points scored, don't be a smart ass. Don't tell me then we'd all have the winner. But look, a lot of people would probably say field goal percent shooting, right? That's only been the winner in 3 of the 5 games in this series. The better shooting team has only won 3 of the 5. 3-point shooting, obviously. Once again, if you look at 3-pointers made, it's a little misleading because Boston made one more in game 2 and lost. But 3-point shooting percentage is a perfect 5-0. That's been the straight-up winner. And like you said, Joe, turnovers. Team with the lower turnovers is a perfect 5-0 straight up in this series. In fact, 4 of those 5 teams had 5 turnovers or less when they won the game. So it's that simple. We talk about turnovers in the NFL and college football. That's the great determinator. We talk about all the time in college hoops. The one-and-done NCAA March Madness is madness because of the 3-point shot more than ever. And it's becoming that way in the NBA now. The difference is it's a 7-game series. With that said, though, the Celtics have to play 4 good games in a row. They've done it twice. And by the way, this is a team that ranked bottom half of the league, near the bottom in turnovers forced. That was not their game this year. 3-point shooting is their game, but can they keep hitting these threes? They've done it 2 straight games. They got to do it 2 more. With that said, you feel like it's a must-win for Miami because Game 7 home teams historically are right around 78% straight up. Yet this series has been the opposite. In fact, Jeff Michaels back on WagerTalk today this afternoon. Jeff had some great info, great baseball chart, by the way, but we talked basketball. 7-15. Jeff Michaels, Ralph's son, pointed that out. The last 3 years, I believe it was, whatever the time frame, the home team in this series is 7-15, both straight up and against the spread. And Boston has been like that in several rounds against Atlanta, Philly. It's been that way in the playoffs so far this year. So I think the Celtics are definitely live to win Game 6, and history would say they're in good shape in Game 7, but can you really trust Boston to hit those threes for 4 straight games? Miami only has to do it in 1 game. Boston has to do it in all 4. And we talked about at the beginning of the series, a huge advantage that Miami had, in my opinion, was the head coaching matchup. Maybe Mazzulla's finally gotten it. Maybe your Division II head coach of the year, Joe Mazzulla's finally figured it out. G League runner-up coach of the year. But I don't know. Boston's got to do it for 2 more games. Hey, look, if they play like they did the last couple games, they will win this series. They'll be the first team to do it. But they have to keep hitting some threes.
Yeah, we all know what's going to happen. They're going to blow out Miami in Game 6. It's going to come down to Game 7, and it's going to be a last-minute half-court, chuck up that ends up winning it because that's how the NBA rolls. Where is Scott Foster, by the way, tomorrow?
I thought that's where you were going with that.
That's what I'm just saying. I'm just saying it could very well turn out to be like that. But another thing that, too, you notice, when there's nothing but threes being chucked up, not a lot of foul shooting. Not last night. We'll see if that continues, certainly, heading into a Game 6 tomorrow. But a lot can happen here. Game 6, possibly a Game 7. And there is Denver just hanging out. And like Andy said, give me some Denver, man. Give me and I'm wondering, Andy, though, as Denver sits here and watches this, would you shy away no matter who it is with Denver in Game 1 just simply because what the hell are you 10 days off? It's kind of tough to know what you're going to get in Game 1, isn't it?
Yeah, rest versus rust, the age-old argument. I would just say I'm anxious to do something with Denver to win the series over either team. I'm not sure. Obviously, Boston would match up a lot better than Miami would, but I think Jokic just has his way. Jokic has his way with everybody,
I
but
agree.
with the lack of interior defense on both of these teams, I don't know where the defense is going to stop Jokic. It's going to be because of a double team, and then you're just leaving the wide open, Jamal Murray or Michael Porter or any of those guys. So
Yep.
I will tell you, I will be on Denver no matter who the opponent is, and yeah, we'll go from there on the props.
Interesting. I guess Merrill, the future market envy, is it just Jokic? I mean, do you give Murray a shot? If you're back in Denver, are you just automatically laying it with Jokic to pull down MVP honors, or you think Murray's got a shot too of pulling it down for Denver?
It's really interesting, Joe. I believe when it was 3 games to none, Tatum was 20-1. I think I saw this at PointsBet.
Yeah.
They had a little article on it. And then right after they won Game 4, he dropped to 5-1. They said they got some heavy money on him. But that doesn't make much sense because you can still get this was before Game 5. Now after Game 5, you can still get the Celtics at 3-1 to win the championship.
Yep.
And Tatum's not going to win the MVP unless they win the championship, probably. And they probably aren't going to even get there. There's a 42% chance, by the way, they win Game 6 and 7. That's the true math. Plus 140, the true odds. I like where Andy's going with Jokic and the matchup advantages. He's just had some time to rest. That's not going to hurt him. The rest has been good for him, in my opinion. But here's what's interesting. Right now, you can get Denver at like 1-2, almost minus 200 to win the title because we know they're there. They're going to – by the way, they won't have home court advantage against Boston. Boston's the 2 seed, but they had the better record than the 1 seed Nuggets. So there again, not that it matters because the Celtics have lost a lot of home games. But Denver's 1-2. Boston is 3-1. The Heat are 4.5, 5-1 to win the championship, even though they're mathematically the odds-on favorite to get there. That's just how bizarre this is. So Denver will be a big favorite against Miami. I think they'll probably be a dog against Boston, especially without home court. And Teddy and I talked about this earlier. I pointed out the first team to do it in baseball was 2004 when the Red Sox overcame the 0-3 deficit against the Yankees. Yeah, there you go. Some of the childhood memories. Yeah. But don't forget, they swept the Cardinals 4 games to none. I mean, you talk about momentum. There's no question Boston had momentum after that. So you got to like the Celtics' chances if they can win these next 2 games.
Yeah, well, Babe Ruth ain't walking through that damn door in Miami, so I'm not worried.
Neither's Alonzo Mourning or Dwayne Wade, though.
1-151 when it's all said and done. Damn it!
Right there, what the hell is Merrill talking about? Childhood memories. You're a middle-aged man just like me.
I was being nice, Tony. Right as I said that, I knew my math was off, but I was being nice.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I still lost. I lost a child, I think, in that series. So that up 3 games to none, I think I lost my ass is what I did. Andy,
Martingale.
we're gonna start it with you. Let me know here. 60 seconds on the clock. A lot of different ways to approach it. Where are we going here in this big Game 6 in Miami tomorrow?
Well, I was looking for kind of some trends and some stats to back up my play, and so I was looking towards different sports from 20 years ago, like Steve does, to make a real good comparison to what's going to happen tomorrow. So I went and looked at the beach volleyball from the Olympics in Sochi, and what I found was. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry, Steve. So
there's no beach left anymore.
Hey, you get a full minute to break down basketball based on your baseball stats. So I'm taking Jimmy Butler. And they swept a horrible Cardinals team. Give me a break. All right, Jimmy Butler over 13.5 rebounds and assists. He only had 10 last game, but he only played 34 minutes. He's not going to play 34 minutes. The 3 previous games, he had 14, 14, and 14. I expect a lot of stats in a big-time game. Give me Butler over rebounds and assists.
Boom! Expecting him to get it done, Jimmy Butler here. Jim Edmonds was drunk the entire series. Let's be realistic. Tony Mejia, talk to us here. 60 seconds on the clock. Give us something, man. Dive into it. Tell us where we're looking tomorrow.
Well, there will be a 5% tomorrow. I'm 26-11. And full disclosure, I mean, that's 26-11 on the run. All sports on 5%. And full disclosure, I have the Heat to exterminate the Boston Celtics in Game 4. Obviously, didn't happen. So we shall see. We shall see if Boston continues to be resilient. Yesterday, I channeled the prop god and had Caleb Martin over 18.5 points and rebounds. That got there. The under got there. Number 2 in NBA totals all season. 24-9 run on totals this postseason. So look, man, the bottom line is this: the Miami Heat need to win this game. The Boston Celtics, if they win this game, will win the Eastern Conference Finals, and I don't anticipate Boston beating them. Miami beating them in Game 7 at home. So tomorrow is it, and it's going to be a fantastic show. Let's see how it unfolds. Come join me for 5% because I'll tell you how it unfolds.
Yes, as we have Caleb Martin over the 8.5. Listen, he can go as long as he wants, as long as he's back in Miami. We're good there. All right, let's go, Merrill. I want to see you cross-reference some sort of NHL, Major League Baseball from back in the day and come up with a best bet somehow. Dad, tell us, what are you looking at here for a Game 6? What direction you going?
Speaking of baseball, I've got a strong best bet tonight on Friday, an MLB steamroller blowout. And don't forget about the free plays, a free baseball play on my page, SteveMerrillWagerTalk.com. Let's go back to the year 2008, UCLA, Southern University of California, Los Angeles. A man named Kevin Love was a first-round pick, number 5 overall in the draft. And boy, did he have a nice little career in Minnesota. He won a championship at Cleveland, but 34-year-old is slowly being phased out right now in Miami. And for good reason. He doesn't have much left. This is a guy that played only 5 minutes against the Celtics in Game 3, 12 minutes and 14 minutes in Games 4 and 5 so far. He's had 6 points or less in every one of these games but one. His total's at 5.5, juice to the under, but I think he gets even fewer minutes here in Game 6. So Kevin Love under 5.5 points. I like it better than the rebounds under 3.5. He's had more than 3.5 rebounds in several games. So Kevin Love on his way out under 5.5 points. Strong baseball best bet. Right now, SteveMerrillWagerTalk.com.
Jeez. Hard to believe he was riding the bench with the Cavaliers just 3 months ago. Good Lord. All right, well, there you go, guys. We have Andy Lang going. Jimmy Butler overdose, 13.5 rebounds and assists. Reminds him of the Sochi Olympics. Don't know how that comes together, but the bottom line is Steve Merrill likes Kevin Love. He even brought up the UCLA days at 5.5 points, but Mejia, straight focused here, people. Caleb Martin, 18.5 points and rebounds. If it ain't broke, don't fix it with him. Expect him to come up big here. And then, of course, coming up big all weekend. All 3 of these guys have been crushing it across the sports betting landscapes. All you have to do is head over to their pages right now. You saw Andy's 3-day all-access pass. You've got Steve Merrill ready to go here. Not only Major League Baseball, but, of course, NBA all weekend long. And you heard it, 5% best bet. It's going to be there. NBA Game 6 with Tony Mejia. All you got to do is visit his page here. Pick that up, guys. Opportunity presenting itself. Take advantage. That's all you got to do. Take advantage of the opportunity here and make sure, I guess, maybe not on Monday. It depends. If there's a game, we'll be here. If not, we'll see you on Wednesday or Thursdays. We get ready for Game 1 of the NBA Finals. Either way, guys, on behalf of Andy, Tony, and Steve Merrill, we appreciate the time, guys. Best of luck with all the plays this weekend. We'll talk to you again next week. Be good.